All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome. My name is Manny Allen. I'm director of the Re-Engagement Center, Boston Public Schools. And first of all, I just wanted to thank everyone for being here, for taking the time to make it out here and do this important work of helping to get our kids back in school and back on track. At the Re-Engagement Center, we help struggling students get back into school and back on track. These are students who either dropped out, are struggling with outside issues, inside issues. What we do is we counsel them, and we go over graduation plans with them and help them find pathways to finish. So this work is very important, and this is an extension of it. When we can't reach these students or they fall off, what we do is we go and we visit them at their homes, welcome them back, offer them opportunities so they can get on track. This work is especially important to me, and many of you know me and know my story. I'm a former high school dropout. I dropped out of school at 17, was out for a few years, got back in at 19, graduated high school at 21, still was able to go on to get my master's degree, my MBA at the end of the day. And that's what this is all about. It's the reason why this is important, because it's just a conversation. The power of a conversation is so important. I've had so many key conversations where I think half of the adults that talk to me don't even remember what they said to me, but these things that they said to me were so poignant and so momentary. Sometimes I only talked to some of these adults once, but it was really impactful. So what I want to tell you today is today you have the opportunity to do the same. Don't underestimate you, your presence, your experience, your personal beauty. Don't underestimate it. Get out there, talk to students, show them who you are, show them love, and believe me, they will remember these conversations. Save a life today. So with that, I just want to introduce one of the champions in the community, Neil Sullivan, Executive Director of the PIC.
Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Mayor Wu, for honoring us with your presence at this send-off. And thank you, Acting Superintendent Echelson, who you'll hear from right after me. Incoming Superintendent Mary Skipper really wanted to be here. I know people say that, but trust me, she really wanted to be here and has asked Manny for a thorough report on exactly what we accomplish over the next 4 hours. So Manny told me to do the history. Now that's a dangerous thing with me. that could go all day. So I'm going to demonstrate a modicum of discipline. This is the 5th annual Dropout Outreach Day. In the second year, we incorporated with Brian the chronically absent, and we plan to be doing this as long as we can knock on doors the day before school opens. It's not only symbolically important, it gets results. It gets results. We will be bringing students back into their education while they still have a free public education. We're going to be doing that over the next 3 to 4 hours. So this all kind of started in 2004 under Mayor Menino. We convened the Youth Transitions Task Force. It was the context of new MCAS and the threat of not graduating if you couldn't pass the test. And we said, we've got to have a plan, and we're organizers, so we said that starts with outreach. And then we hired this amazing duo of Manny Allen and Marvin Moore, who still works with the district. And guess what? They started knocking on doors. Manny's former guidance counselor, Gail Yard, was in charge of the outreach during the summer, but, you know, school started and she went back to work. By the way, she was Manny's guidance counselor at the Burke and part of his graduation from high school at 21. You should know that Manny now not only has his BA, but has his MBA from Northeastern University. His story is really important. Your story is really important. Stories are really important when you communicate in the community. Carol Johnson came in, and we like to say she crossed the Rubicon. She crossed the river. She said, those who have left school are as important to me as those who are still attending. You know, that's a conceptual breakthrough. She set us up in the re-engagement center, a combination of BPS staff and PIC staff, and we've been doing that ever since. Now, I'm a policy guy, so I got to just riff a little bit on this. This is part of a three-part strategy, and I can see it evolving. And those who've been around it, you kind of will feel it when you think about it. We're creating more honors programs in the academic space. We're making them available to more students at more schools. Acting Superintendent Echelson has been the voice for that, and that is moving. High expectations are essential to a thorough strategy, but so is checking with those who have left us to find out why, and building an alternative education system that gets them a diploma or a transition to college through another means like a HSE, so that all our young adults stay on track, because their free public education expires in their early 20s. So this is an urgent kind of thing, okay? If you're working both the high expectation and the re-engagement spaces and the alternative education spaces, that brings you to the middle, and it says, how do we prevent young people from leaving school? And the answer to that is a combination, this is my pick answer, you know this, a combination of highly engaging curriculum. I mean, what do teenagers think about? They think about money and their bodies. Let's do a course on disease. The young woman out at Brighton High answered the reporter and said, physiology. Yeah, that's what teenagers think about. Let's start there, and let's connect them to career pathways by whatever means we can generate that is appropriate and desirable for them. So that's a three-part strategy. High expectations, more honors curriculum, re-engagement, and alternative education, and highly engaging curriculum integrated with work experience and career exploration. Bingo. We got to do it for all students, but if we leave anyone behind, we won't learn from them. And if we don't learn from them, we won't be effective with any student. So with that, thank you for the time, and I think I get to hand it over to Drew, Acting Superintendent Echelson, who's doing an amazing job in a very dynamic transition. Boy, I could go riff on that one.
Thank you. I wanted to personally thank Manny and Neil for their leadership and hard work. We all understand that education is vital to the success of all of our community. And BPS has the resources to welcome all of our students back with open arms, and we must do that. Ensuring that every young person in Boston has the ability to access a high-quality education is the highest priority of BPS, which is why I'm so pleased to be working with the Re-Engagement Center to encourage these members of our community to come back to school. I'm also proud to be working on a team with incoming Superintendent Mary Skipper, who deeply understands the importance of re-engaging with our students who have dropped out. As she begins her entry into BPS, she consistently reminds our organization that all of these young ones are our students. Mary believes at our core that we have a responsibility as a system, in collaboration with the Re-Engagement Center and with PIC, to re-engage them. We must create opportunities for them to rejoin our system, secure their diploma, and provide for them what we strive for every student in BPS: great opportunities with access to college and/or career. Mary also understands that the last few years have been a challenge, and so she is eager to lead the hard work that will be required to successfully re-engage with hundreds of city's youth at this specific moment in time. Speaking of leaders who are ready and able to do the hard work, I would like to introduce Mayor Wu. She has been a tireless advocate for public education in Boston, and I'm excited for our continued collaboration to improve BPS and the outcomes for our students and their families. Please give a warm welcome to our mayor, Mayor Wu.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much to our superintendent, to Manny and Neil for your leadership over many years, and to all of our volunteers who have showed up today to model to our young people the importance of showing up, and also to emphasize the power that they have and how important they are to this city, present and future. I was doing this is not last minute for me, but relatively last minute school supply shopping with the kids yesterday. So don't worry, there are still folders and notebooks there. We were trying, although my son's a little stressed out because the list said he needed a certain color. They didn't have black, so we got purple. So hopefully that's okay, Miss Welch. But it's their rituals that we go through as a city, as families. And when you have kids, everything is oriented around the start of the school year, right? Routines change, schedules change. All the different pieces that you fit together in your lives shift to a new mode for the next couple months. And so this is an important part of the routine of Boston Public Schools now for many years, to make sure that we are personally going out, knocking on doors, welcoming and thanking our students for being part of this community, and telling them how excited we are for our young people and their families to be back in school with us. Especially after the last few years, the level of isolation, of uncertainty, of unpredictability in the lives of our families and our young people is off the charts. And so every bit of human interaction to really feel and pour out into them how much we appreciate and love them goes a long, long way. As a mom, I know that this has been an important part of seeing and feeling comfortable with the systems when you are about to send your little one off to a scary experience, right? The most important thing in your life you are entrusting to our schools. And so to get that face-to-face connection, to say, here we are ready, and we're excited for you, I hope will once again yield great results. We are going to fan out and reach hundreds of families today. We are drawing on the hard work of our dozens of volunteers here today who come from our BPS Central staff, our Re-Engagement Center staff, Opportunity Youth staff, PIC volunteers, community members, and leaders from every part of our district. And so as we work to emerge from the pandemic, I want to emphasize that everyone here is here because we believe in our students. We believe in our young people, we believe in the Boston Public Schools, and we are so ready for the great things that are going to happen in our classrooms this year. Education goes beyond just having a teacher in front of students in a classroom. It is about connection, it is about community, and that is what we are showing today. We want our young people to be excited to come back, to make new friends, to learn new things about the world around them, and to see the many ways in which they can shape that world, starting right here in Boston. Young people thrive when working with our teachers, people who mentor them, who show them their own power and promise, and all of the fruits that come from education. So most of all, I want to thank our educators today for just the heroic work, especially over the last couple years, as hard as it has been in the world, that has been concentrated on your shoulders, and we are so grateful for you. We are trying on our part in City Hall, in partnership with BPS, to invest as much as we can in lightening that load and wrapping around supports. So one person I also wanted to lift up and make sure to shout out and introduce or reintroduce to you today is Rebecca Granger, who is our Mayor's Office Senior Advisor on Children and Education and Schools. And so Rebecca will be marshaling our children's cabinet and really bringing all the resources outside BPS into our classrooms and schools so that we can wrap around and provide anything that the city has to offer for our young people and their families. So let's do it. Can't wait. And we're going to have a great, great school year. Thank you, everyone.